Regular show is an interesting topic. I had difficulty getting into new stuff when I was younger, as I mentioned in the Futurama video, but the show was airing around the time I was more open. SpongeBob wasn't exactly entertaining anymore, and in fact none of Nickelodeon was at the time, but I did like the looks of something completely new on a rival channel. Yeah, it was this gem of a show. Quick summary of it, it's a very good show. I find it funny and entertaining. That's about it. Then of course there was Adventure Time, which I didn't really watch. What? Okay, I know the show is good, but I just never really got into it. Don't hate me, I'm very weird. So what about regular show? I always enjoyed the simplistic setting, going into the absolute chaos over the most basic things. The main characters accidentally steal their boss's lunch, they have to stop a reactor melting down, the characters need coffee to stay awake, a literal giant coffee bean supplies them with his fucking nipples, the cast want to win some fuzzy dice for a friend's birthday, fucking Five Nights at Freddy's happens. So what should be a regular task goes to apeshit, and this is every episode of the show. Well, almost every episode. Our two main characters are Mordecai and Rigby, two adults in their 20s who work as groundskeepers at the park. Both of them procrastinate and avoid work whenever possible, while also enjoying either video games or planned events that will probably be the focus of the episode. These two are also often the instrument of chaos that set in motion the insanity the show is. Now this isn't always random equals funny, the show can tell great stories for each character when it wants to. Throughout the show, we know Mordecai sucks at romance and Rigby slowly matures over time. This show is more slice of life than I think most realise, as it feels more adult and the amount of alcohol and drug trip-like sequences back this up massively. Unlike Gumball or Adventure Time, regular show doesn't have a kid-like protagonist and it feels the most adult of the three. This show is also hilariously violent, like people straight up getting fucking annihilated.
Yo, Muscle Man, my boss found out that I gave you guys that TV and he fired me. It's cool if I crash here for a couple days. What the?
Rewatching it recently, I loved every episode. I loved the movie, but there is something I have to discuss because I've never felt such a halting presence in my life. Season 8. What makes regular show great is that it will be down to earth, supported by various side characters that are either related to the main crew or an influence for the plot. Season 8 throws all of this out the window and tries to be a completely different show. All the side characters are gone and the park itself is rarely used anymore. Also, the season takes place in space. If this had been for a few episodes, I think I would have been fine, but there's 30 episodes of this. I struggled to keep attention and I gave up at episode 10. Regular show benefited greatly from being down to earth compared to the other shows like Adventure Time and Gumball. Season 8 basically could not compete and I lost interest immediately. Now this season doesn't ruin the show, there are some highlights to it, especially the finale. Basically, what I'm saying is, it isn't Game of Thrones level of ruined. Regular show spent 7 seasons and a movie being a great ride and even had one of the nicest endings. As a teenager, the show was always interesting and never bored me. As an adult, I think the show is perfect. Its characters are humorous and varied. The show is action-packed and ridiculous while also being sincere and lifting. I highly recommend it to anyone looking to sit back and relax, maybe do some hobbying or binge watch.